Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump in and we're going to start making our turtle game. Now, it's going to be important for you to follow the instructions just like I'm telling you, because if you don't, there's the possibility that you're going to overwrite each other's files. We don't want that. One of the very first things you need to do is you need to check the version of Unity when you get started and you go to actually make your project. There may be multiple versions of Unity that are installed on your computer. You need to make sure that you are using 2019.4.9 F1 in order to make sure that your project will transfer from your home computers to the school computers or from the school computers to other school computers. This is just the version of Unity that we have to be working in. So please make sure that this is the one that you are working in and that you have installed. What we're going to do is we're going to click on where it says plus new. You're going to select the 2019.4.9 F1. If you are working on a version of Unity or a computer that only has one version of Unity, then you may not have a drop down, but we want to make sure that when it brings this piece up and it says create a new project with, that it has the right version up here. What you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to save it on your U drive. Your U drive is active and it is something that you're going to be able to use. If you're working on a project from home, then you can save on whatever file or location you want. Just make sure that you know where it is. But if you're at school, you need to save onto your U drive. And what would be good is if you make a new folder on your U drive and you call it National Park Service, so NPS, and then you are going to type in turtle game. We want everybody to have basically the same kind of titles in this so that we can make things go back and forth. And then you're going to go into that folder and you're going to select it. And then up here where it says the project name, you are going to put in NPS turtle game version 1, so V1. And then you're going to hit create. That's going to create your project and it's going to make it so that that project is on your U drive. I'll be back after the project is created. All right, for the next part of this, we are going to go through and we're going to make a couple of adjustments in terms of what kinds of folders we're going to set up and what our project hierarchy is going to be. The first thing that I need you to do is I need you to go to your scene because it auto starts up and it's got a scene. What you are going to do is you are going to change this scene. So we need to make sure that this is done. So please make sure that you're doing this. We're going to go into the sample scene here, and what we're going to do is we are going to type our last names, and then we are going to put in test scene. So you're going to have your last name, and then you're going to have your test scene. It's going to ask you to make sure that you are reloading the scene. You're going to hit reload. And then you'll see that up here, your scene name will have your name and it'll have test scene. This is important because we do not want you to bring in scenes from each other's projects and have it overwrite what everybody else has done. What we're going to do is we will eventually bring in all of the pieces of your project and we will bring them into like one version of a project. And when that happens, we don't want anybody's stuff to get overwritten. In addition to that, you're going to come down into your assets folder here and you're going to right click and you are going to create a folder for documentation. You are going to make a folder for prefabs. You are going to make a folder for models. You are going to make a folder. It might not let me do it because of the video recording software. So what I'm going to do, just so that you can see what it is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show an Explorer. And inside of here, which is where all of our stuff is, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit new folder and I'm going to make one for textures. And we are going to make a new folder for sprites. So these are the folders that you should have. By the time that it's all said and done, your folder structure should look like this. Okay. I also want you to make one last folder, and this one is going to be where you're going to put your finalized elements, the ones that you actually want to share. So you're going to make a new folder, and you are going to put in your last name, and then you're going to put in your finalized assets. And the reason that we're going to do this is because eventually, when you have all of your pieces done, we're going to be able to right click on this folder and we will be able to export the package and send all of the information that we've got to other people so they can import it into their projects. So you need to make sure that you have all of these folders. We may have a couple of additional ones that pop up over the course of the project, like we might end up with one for research, or we might end up with one for I don't even know what, like, professional models or citations or something like that. But for right now, these are going to be the folders that you're going to need to have on the inside of your scene. It is really important that you actually do have folders that are in here that have your last name on them, and that your scene does not just say sample scene. It should say, well, your last name and then test scene. So once you've gotten done with that, then we are going to go ahead and we are going to move on to the next video.